John had been stationed in Antarctica for years, and he knew the dangers of the South Pole better than most. But nothing had prepared him for the storm that descended upon him and his team. As they battled through the blizzard, John's team became disorientated, and they were separated by the storm. He had been leading the expedition, and he had lost track of his colleagues. The wind howled around him, and the snow was blinding, making it impossible to see more than a few feet in front of him. As the storm intensified, John realized that he was alone. He tried calling out to his team, but the wind snatched his voice away. With the temperature plummeting, he knew that he had to find his way back to the research facility alone. He trudged through the snow, his body already numb with cold. His face was stinging, his nose running, and his eyes watering. But he pushed on, hoping that he was heading in the right direction. Finally, after what felt like hours of stumbling through the blizzard, he saw the dim outline of the research facility looming in the distance. Relief flooded through him, and he pushed himself harder, trying to reach the safety of the facility before he collapsed from exhaustion. When he finally reached the facility, he was horrified to see that it had been badly damaged by the storm. The windows had been shattered, and the temperature inside was freezing. There was no electricity, and John knew that he was in serious trouble. He huddled in a corner of the facility, wrapping himself in blankets to try to stay warm. But as the temperature dropped, he knew that he had to do something drastic to survive. He began to burn furniture and beds to create a fire, hoping that it would keep him alive until help arrived. But his desperation led to disaster. The fire quickly got out of control, and John was forced to flee the facility before he was consumed by the flames. He stumbled through the blizzard, his body racked with cold and exhaustion. Just when he thought he couldn't go on any longer, he saw a shape looming out of the snow. It was a polar bear, its eyes fixed on him. John knew that he was about to die. But just as the bear charged, several gunshots rang out. The bear slumped to the ground dead. John turned to see a group of rescuers emerging from the storm, having followed the smoke from the burning facility. They rushed to John's side, wrapping him in blankets and giving him warm food and drink. He was barely conscious as they lifted him onto a helicopter, but he knew that he had been saved from certain death. As they flew back to safety, John reflected on the ordeal that he had endured. He knew that he had been lucky to survive, and he was grateful to the rescuers who had saved his life. He also knew that he would never forget the power of the South Pole, and the constant struggle for survival that it demanded from those who lived there.